Our first presenter is an old friend of this program. She's getting laughs already, ladies and gentlemen. What else did I say about you? She's delightful. She's a great comedian. She's performed all over the place for a long time. Not that long. Please welcome Lee CHIRILLO.
Picking on Dolly Parton, she is like royalty. And you know why they paired her with Elton John? She's the Queen of England. Two royals. Hey, we're a small crowd here tonight. I want to share with you, I just bought a car from Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. I'm sorry, Santa Monica Volkswagen. This is the place to go when you want to get screwed. But you know what really galled me about it? When you buy a car, they like huddle around and they're whispering secrets and they got to go back in the GM's office. But they were speaking in a language I couldn't understand. I didn't know if it was Farsi or Arabic. So I finally lost my temper at the end and I said, for God's sake, you're in America. Can't you speak Spanish? You know, this is too high for me. I don't know why it annoyed me. I should be used to it. I live in Little Baghdad. I mean, Persia, Iran, Beverly Hills. It is so crowded there, I swear to God. There's no place to park your camels. And all the camels, they have these handicap medallions around their necks. I don't get it. And all the women still wear the burqas. And it kind of creeps me out. You know, they don't look at you and they keep their heads down. I thought, wow. But meanwhile, when I first got my apartment in Little Baghdad, my neighbor came over like with a welcoming wagon. I think she had like a cup of sheep's eyeballs or something. But she comes dressed in the full burqa. I thought, wow. So to make her feel more comfortable, I talked to her through the mail slot. I gotta say though, thank you, Laura.
Love it.
I gotta say though, the Persian people and the Arabs there, they're really acclimating themselves to the American way of life. Like there's a burqa king on every corner. And they have their own strip club now on Pico Boulevard. You might have seen it driving past. It's called the Camel Toe Inn. Yeah, and all the men are yelling at the women, show us your ankles! Show us your ankles! You know, before I lived in Little Baghdad, I lived in Little Ethiopia. Is anybody familiar with that area? It's on Fairfax Avenue. And I'm walking down there. It's all cafes and restaurants. And it says fine dining. What the hell would these people know about food? Weren't they just starving to death? But you know what? I try everything just once if I have to. And they had a lunch special for $6.95. I figured, hey, what the heck? So I go in there. You know, I talked to the maitre d' for 10 minutes before I realized he was a coat rack. I ordered shish kebab. They served me a toothpick with a fly on it. I don't know what's happening in Los Angeles. I swear to God, the homeless are growing and growing. We have 58,000 homeless people here. I'm thinking, and everybody says, Lee, for God's sake, you've got to have more compassion for these people. They can't work. They have a drug and alcohol problem. Am I missing something? I have to go to work to support my drug and alcohol problem. In fact, I didn't even know I had an alcohol problem until I did my taxes. I had to list Jim Beam, Johnny Walker, and Don Julio as dependents. My mother liked to drink, though. She liked to drink vodka. Vodka, cream, and Metamucil. A white roughage. Boy, you guys, that's such an old joke. You know, the homeless, they really annoy me. They hold up a sign, will work for food. What the hell do you think I do? And then they grub cigarettes. Cigarettes are up to $10 a pack. You can't even afford to get cancer. And I smoke Newports. Why? Because every time you buy a pack of cigarettes, they give you a free baseball cap. I figure I could wear it for chemotherapy. You know, I don't know if you noticed or not, but I have trouble walking, and I have the really bad posture now, like a posture of a cocktail shrimp. I broke my back. Yeah, and everybody says, "Oh my God, Lee, how does somebody break their back? That's insane." Well, I fell off a mechanical bull. I didn't actually fall off. He tossed me aside for a younger broad. You're laughing, but it was serious. I ended up in the trauma center, which turns out is where they give you the bill. Yeah. And you know, when I broke my back, I gained so much weight. I couldn't work out, I couldn't move, and I got really fat. I didn't know what to do, so I joined Weight Watchers. Has anybody used Weight Watchers here?
Yeah.
It's fantastic. You don't even have to show up. You could just phone it in, which is for real. So this is what I did. I phoned it in. You call up. It goes like this. You call up and it says, if you think you're 20 pounds overweight, press 1. If you think you're morbidly obese, press 2. And if you haven't gotten laid in the past 3 years, press the pound sign. So I pressed the pound sign and it says, you're fat. What do you expect? I was so fat, Rosie O'Donnell wouldn't even give me a looky-loo. I even had to buy the bull a couple of drinks. Yeah, I tried all those dating sites. It was bad. I tried Our Time. Are you familiar with that? For people in their 50s and in their 60s. It's past your time. Anything after that is out of time. I tried Farmers Only. You know that one? You don't have to be lonely. That's where I met the bull. And then I tried Plenty of Gefilte Fish. Try that one? That's Barry's joke. Not only did I get plenty of Gefilte Fish, I got the crabs from it. But leave it to me. On that site, I picked the only Jew in Beverly Hills with no money. His name was Ira. Only a Jew could name their kid after a tax shelter. And Ira, he was so lazy. He smoked so much pot, he could bring back Bob Marley from the dead. And I think he took so much LSD in the 60s, he's had flashbacks of his bris. Which I always thought was a pot roast. At the end, though, Ira got really abusive. I asked him to get me a boob job. He got me the lunch shift at Hooters. Yeah, it was bad. Finally, I said, fuck it, I'll just date myself. And then the inner voice said, you could do better than that. You know, while I have you here, all ladies and gentlemen, I want you to all know, me too. But not in a really long time. I don't know what these broads are bitching about sexual harassment for. I'd welcome a little sexual harassment. Good Lord. And, you know, I don't think it's really fair. When a man talks dirty to a woman, that is considered sexual harassment. But when a woman talks dirty to a man, that's $12.95 a minute. You know, I am just not one of these militant feminists. That is not me. I think Elizabeth Warren should put on a little fucking lipstick. She'd have a much better chance and get a new outfit. What does it cost? Go to JCPenney, for God's sake. And Trump, boy, he got himself in a twister now, didn't he? Ooh, you know, I don't know why he wanted the presidency in the first place. That means he'd have to move to a smaller house and he'd live in a black neighborhood. But you know, when he first came on the scene, I thought, let me give this guy a break. Let me learn more about him, see what he's all about. So I went to the bookstore. because I knew he'd written a couple of books. And of course, the bookstore owner's a Muslim. He too lives in Little Baghdad. So I go in there and I say, "Sir, do you have Donald Trump's latest book on illegal immigrations for Mexicans and Muslims?" And he looked at me aghast and he said, "Piss off, get out, don't come back." I said, "Yeah, that's the one." Does he have the paperback? That's not my time. Thank you so much. Great, thank you.